Hello and welcome to the 132nd episode of Movie and TV Talk. On this episode I'm going to be talking about the Prime Animations fan film, Transformers Prime, Galvatron's Revenge. Now before I get into this, I'm going to say here and now that I'm not going to be talking about any of the controversies surrounding this movie, as the channel Firewood Media has done a good job covering that, so if you want to know about it, go watch their video. Now let's get into this. So, this movie is supposed to take place after the end of the Predacons Rising movie, after the point that Optimus Prime basically kills himself so that all life on Cybertron may yet live again. Most of the beginning of the movie is about Springer and Rodimus being trailed by the Combaticons. We do eventually meet the Destructicons, a group made up of Galvatron, Cyclonus, Slipstream, and Scourge, but they don't become relevant until about 40 minutes into the movie. The only reason that these Destructicons even matter is that while Unicron may be no more, they want to destroy Primus, which would mean destroying Cybertron itself, and yeah, it's one of those kinds of stories being told here. Look, I'm going to spare anyone watching this video a lot of time here and just tell you, this movie is awful. Literally every aspect is so bad. And I know that it's a low-budget thing, and that's part of the problem. This movie wants to be a part of Transformers Prime, but it fails in every single way to do that. The quality of the animation alone will never match up to that of what Transformers Prime achieved, and that is part of the reason that Transformers Prime never got anything past that final movie. It was a very high budget TV show. All of the location shots in the movie look awful. Humans look so much worse than they did in regular Transformers Prime, and the bot designs are very hit and miss. Returning characters like Bumblebee, Smokescreen, Ultra Magnus, Knockout, Wheeljack, Bulkhead, RC, and pretty much all of the ones that were already in Transformers Prime, they looked decent. But new characters are very hit and miss. Rodimus and Springer don't look great, and for some reason they used the IDW design for Rodimus. Also, I'm taking issue with the fact that they used Rodimus as the name, because that's only when the Matrix is given a hot rod that he becomes Rodimus Prime. So, like, I don't know why they used Rodimus as a name, and I don't know why he was a part of the Elite Guard in this movie, but sure. The Combaticon designs are okay. Could be better. Even their combined form just looked like Fall of Cybertron Bruticus. Like, it just kind of did. The Destructicons have decent designs. Galvatron basically uses the Transformers Prime Megatron body, which, I mean, I don't see why not. The visual effects, sound effects, and dialogue are just terrible too. The smoke and fire used look like basic Blender effects and just look awful. When they introduced the Destructicons, it was literally just a black background with PNGs of bots. Like, what are you guys doing? Most of the sound effects sound like they were either ripped from any episode of Transformers Prime, even though Prime Animations supposedly made their own sound effects for this movie. There's so much dialogue that's just awful that anyone could have written this movie so much better. I mean, what are these group names? Destructicons? The 13 anti-primes? Honestly, some of the worst Transformers writing I have seen in a long time. All of the character movements are stiff, and that makes all of the fight scenes just so boring. Cuts between the cuts between the different things happening in the movie is just so many hard cuts without any transitions whatsoever. It just happens so suddenly that it just makes it just adds to how awful this movie is. Now, I'm gonna say that anyone watching this video probably saw this coming, but the voice acting is awful as well. Again, this is barring any controversy. The voice acting alone is pure garbage. None of the voices feel like they match any of the characters, and the recording quality is terrible. It's like each voice actor recorded on a different microphone, and that whoever mixed them didn't do a very good job at all. Speaking of audio mixing, they literally just used music from Transformers Prime, and they didn't even mix it well. There are some moments where the music is louder than the dialogue. How did this happen? Who worked on this movie? Look, I don't think anyone needs me to tell you this, but this movie is garbage and should be avoided at all costs. There's no other way to put it. And if Prime Animations wants to come after me for talking shit about their movie, then bring it on. That's all I have to say, so if you like this kind of content, feel free to subscribe. Thank you for listening, and goodbye.